Three things about Britain's railway boom that few understand. Everyone understands the allure of progress, but few truly grasp the frenzy that gripped 1840s Britain, a period known as the Railway Mania. This wasn't merely about building lines, it was a societal phenomenon, a collective bet on a future defined by iron and steam that would eventually lead to widespread financial distress. Before 1830, Britain had only a few isolated railway lines, mostly for transporting coal. Then came the Liverpool and Manchester Railway, demonstrating the potential for passenger and freight transport. This success ignited imaginations, and with it, the first sparks of a colossal speculative bubble. By 1845, the mania was in full swing. Parliament was deluged with applications for new lines. Over 272 private railway acts were passed in that single year, authorizing the construction of thousands of miles of track. The sheer scale of proposed projects was staggering. Companies, often with little capital or experience, were formed overnight. Promoters, many with questionable intentions, would issue prospectuses for routes that sometimes made little commercial sense or even traversed impassable terrain. The focus shifted from viable infrastructure to quick profits. Ordinary people, from servants to shopkeepers, poured their life savings into railway shares, often buying scrip that represented future shares, hoping to sell them quickly for a profit. The promise of rapid wealth was intoxicating, fostering a belief that prices would only ever go up. The mechanics was simple. A deposit was paid for shares in a new company, with the balance due later. Many bought with the intention of selling their allotment letters before the full payment was required, essentially gambling on rising prices without ever fully owning the shares. However, by late 1845, signs of strain began to emerge. The sheer number of competing projects meant a shortage of labor and materials, driving up construction costs. Doubts started to creep in about the profitability of so many parallel lines. In October 1845, the Bank of England raised interest rates, making it more expensive to borrow. This, coupled with growing skepticism and a flood of new shares hitting the market, caused prices to falter. The speculative bubble, stretched to its limit, began to deflate. The crash, when it came, was swift and brutal. Thousands found themselves holding worthless scrip or facing calls for payments on shares they couldn't afford. Fortunes were lost overnight. Many individuals, once dreaming of riches, faced ruin and bankruptcy. The immediate aftermath saw a severe economic downturn. Some legitimate and necessary railway projects were abandoned, others completed much later. The mania demonstrated the powerful human tendency towards irrational exuberance, even when the underlying fundamentals are questionable. While railways eventually became the backbone of Britain's industrial power, the 1840s mania stands as a stark reminder of the dangers of overinvestment and unchecked speculation. It illustrates how the pursuit of quick wealth can blind even the most cautious to impending risks. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to unravel more financial bubbles and market manias that shaped our world. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.